Hey, this is BugPowderDust, coming at you with something a little bit different, Astroneer. So this game has been out for 5 years. I actually bought it on the day it was released in early access back in December 2016, and I played it a little bit and I found it quite quirky and interesting, and then I just put it away and ended up playing other games and completely forgot about it really. But I got it out the other day and reinstalled it, and it's really good. I've been playing it as much as I can and it's just fantastic. I want to do a quick playthrough. Let me know what you think, and if you want to see more of it, then please leave a like. I don't normally ask for likes, but it does help me gauge the interest in something that's not RimWorld, which is obviously the core content for my channel. So without further ado, let's launch a game. Now, you've got adventure game or creative game. Creative is kind of a chilled out experience. You can turn on certain options like I never run out of oxygen, things are infinite, and there are other bits and pieces. But what I'd like to do is the adventure game, which is, I guess, the way it was supposed to be played. So let's do this. Now, each planet is procedurally generated every time you play, and each experience will be different. You start in the solar system with, I think it's 5 planets and 2 moons. And you start on Silver, which is the easiest planet to start on, as we can see. And it sure is pretty. Alright, we've landed. I love the animations. Alright, well, this is my base. This is where we get a source of power and air, as you can see by the tether. And this is the, I guess it's a temporary landing pad, and it's a place where you receive your mission rewards. So the game, by way of tutorial, what it does, it guides you through, because it's very open. There's a lot that can be done and can be made, and what it does, it tries to steer you through this by giving you some ideas of what to do next, and tells you what the rewards are when you do them. So the first ones are very, very simple. There are resources to gather that can be spotted. I think I spotted some, yeah, there it goes. So this is resin. This yellow stuff here is resin. I think I spotted some compound when we were landing. I'll find that in a minute. And these are the 2 basic building blocks, and what you can do is you can take a look at the planets, and it tells you what planets you've got and what can be found. Now, some of the items are unique, some of the resources are unique on certain planets. So for instance, this planet we're on, Silver, notably has sphalerite and malachite. Ditto Disolo, which is our moon, wolframite and sphalerite, etc, etc. You also get an idea of what can be found and what can be made from the different resources that you can pull up. So, for instance, these items here can be found on all planets, apart from Astroneer, which is in the core of all planets. We probably won't get to that for a very, very long time. But also some of them, hematite, for instance, which you use to make iron, can only be found on Glacio and Novus, and it tells you where approximately to find them. Then you can refine them into other items here with a smelting furnace. And you can also get resources from the atmosphere as well. So without further ado, let's crack on and try and do some of the quests, because that really does give us a good footing to get us going on where we want to be. So let's take a look. So Planet 4, we've done Planet 4. We're going to collect an oxygenator and a small printer. We'll take that. Lovely. So the oxygenator, you can press F to hold and unpack it. What do we do with that, you ask? Well, you can plug the oxygenator into your start base here. Now what this does, this gives you the ability to run tethers, and tethers supply oxygen and power from your shelter here in whatever direction you want. Now you make tethers using compound. I thought I saw some, which is this stuff over here. We'll come to that momentarily. Let's get the printer out. So this is a small printer, and the small printer is what you use to make items. So you can make items in different number of ways. You can either use your backpack here, and you have a very, very small printer on your backpack which can make different bits and pieces. We'll cover some of these in more detail. Notably, it can make a small printer, and the small printer can also then make slightly bigger items. It can make a medium printer, platforms, storage, etc, etc. Okay, so let's run over here. Now we get cut off from oxygen. You notice the oxygen bar on the back of the backpack here starts to run down. If I stop, you can see it starts to go down and down and down. So we need to make some tethers, so we're going to start collecting this stuff called compound. And you can see on the back of my terrain tool there, I guess you could call it, that starts to fill up with what I'm collecting. So this green stuff it's collecting is soil, sorry, organic, and at the same time I'm collecting compound as well, and it's deforming the terrain. Now you can move the terrain around if you want to. You can make it deeper, you can level it off, or you can make it higher. Let's just get a third one. Okay, beautiful. Right, let's run back before we run out of air. Alright, so let's make some tethers. So if we go to tethers and we click the button, you'll see that it's using a compound now to make some tethers. Cool, let's make some more. Okay, so we've got a bunch of tethers now. In fact, let's do a third set because they always come in useful. And it's also using power. This is my power battery on my backpack as well. Alright, cool. So we've got some tethers now. So tethers are really easy to use. You just run along, and as soon as that line disappears is when you press T for tethers. You get more appearing. And you can basically stretch out the line behind you, like so. Now tethers are super useful for obvious reasons, but also to let you find your way back, because it's not always obvious which way is home, especially if you go down into caves. It can be a little bit taxing. So let's collect up some resin. Right, I've got a couple of lumps of resin. Right, let's head back. Oh, also, we'll come to research momentarily. Let's just sort this out first. Okay. Now you can actually access this menu and also access... Oops, don't want to do that. Let's put that away. You can press and hold the R button, you get a compass. So a compass will show you points of interest. These items here are points of interest. You've got, this is a... Well, you can probably see this. Yeah, in the distance, see this line going up to the sky? This is kind of end game or mid to end game content. You have to do something with it, but again you get a mission for that. And these are items that you can pick up or interact with, and you'll see what they are. It gives you points to investigate on the compass anyway. The other thing you can do from here is take a look at your research catalogue. Now this is not one of the game's finest UI choices. You can't search for something in here, which is a little bit annoying, because you do have to then either remember it or go to an external website to find things. But largely speaking, this is where you can unlock items. Think of this as a research tree. You can earn bytes, and by getting bytes you can unlock certain items. So let's say we want to unlock power cells, you'd need 800 bytes. To earn bytes you can do research, or you can collect these items here. These plants are lying around. You hover over it and you click on, you'll see I gain 22 bytes. So if I then check out my tab, I now have 22 bytes. You can earn bytes much quicker than that, of course, but we'll come to that in due course. Alright, so what do we got next to do? Let's take a look. Alright, Astroneer Basics. So we've unpacked the oxygenator, we've installed the oxygenator, we need to connect the printer power to the shelter. Okay, so to do that, that's pretty straightforward. We come over here, we can turn up, place it up. That's pretty straightforward. I'll turn that around because that's kind of messing with my OCD a little bit. It's a bit better, I suppose. Alright, so you can see by doing that, it's given us some new missions. And we can collect our rewards. So we can collect some tethers and some bytes. I just covered bytes momentarily. And also we can unlock breathing space, which gives us a small canister, and 500 bytes. Alright, so the bytes are obvious, I've just explained that. What the small canister does is the small canister will allow you to to fill your terrain tool here. Let me just pop that on the terrain tool. It's kind of where it belongs, really. Although it doesn't have to go on there. So you can now fill that up with soil. You know, sometimes I press the wrong keys. You can fill it up with soil, and then what you can do is then you can use it to form the terrain. So at the moment we can't bring the terrain up because we don't have the soil to do it. But you'll notice if I do that, what will start happening is my container will start filling up with soil eventually. Just making a massive hole. Yeah, you can see that it's starting to fill up, and the container will go green. You see it's starting to fill up with a solid white bar. Now what I can do, having done that now, I can then make the terrain higher, or I can make it level. So in order to do that, you have to have that container and fill with soil. Alright. So that's that. Alright, what else have we got? So, let's have a look. Fill a small full canister. Talking is difficult. Fill a small canister with soil. So that's basically what I was showing you just a moment ago. Let me just click away from that. If I just carry on doing that, you'll see my soil canister is now complete. You'll see it down here. And I've now got another reward to collect. So at the start of the game, the rewards come quick and fast. There we go. And we get another 500 bytes. Now, so what do we need to do? We need to, there's a few things that we can do here. Discover a gateway chamber. So that's that thing in the distance that I told you about with the lights going up. Maybe not as visible in the daylight. I think you can just see it there. We've got retooling. Okay, we've got resourcing. So gather compound, gather resin. Okay, and we get quite a lot of nice stuff for that. Let's do that. We need to collect 4 compounds and 4 resin. Okay, so I think we did this a little bit too soon. Let's drop those down. Alright, so let's run over here and let's quickly collect the resin. Now you can get buggies and stuff in order to speed things up. Buggies and rovers. Let's collect the compound to start off with. 3, almost 4. 4, that'll do. Let's go and collect 4 resin. I've got 4 slots in my backpack. One more. There we go. Mission complete. So these early missions are really easy and don't take much doing at all, but they're just getting you used to collecting resources, also recognising resources. You'll see that I'm actually running out of oxygen very, very fast here. I need to keep an eye on that. You can see it's filling up on the backpack. Oops. Alright, so that's something else we've got. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick these on the floor. Now what this will give us as a reward is a storage bin, and you'll see why that's useful, because this is already getting ugly and I've barely started the game. So let's turn in that reward. Okay, that's all done. Alright, cool. So the first thing it does is give us medium storage. Now this is super useful. Now what you can do is you can actually put these on the front of tractors, which give you a lot of storage space. There's 4 slots on the front, 4 on the back. You can pick them up, you can kind of turn them if you want to. And you basically can start putting these on here, as you so wish. These are the building blocks of any tidy base. You can make these yourself, of course, but for now, let's stick them on now. I think all the slots are full now. Yeah, they're all full. That's great. We've also got a medium platform. Now, some of the bigger items that you can construct do get put onto platforms. But you have to put them on a platform, otherwise you won't be able to power them. See these power plugs? So the small printer is freestanding, but as you get into bigger items, so the medium printer, for instance, it has to go on a platform. Alright, what's this? Another platform as well. That's because they've given us 2 platforms, which is super useful. Alright, great. Okay, that's those things done. That's brilliant. We'll take the tethers, shift and click, puts them straight in your backpack. Alright, what have we got? So we need to print a medium printer. That's probably the next thing that we should do. Print a medium printer and then slot medium printer to the platform. Alright, that's going to be fairly straightforward. So on here, we need to print a medium printer. Click along. Medium printer, I need 2 compound. I've got 1 already. I think that's probably on, oops, probably on my tool. Okay, since I have 1 compound, let's pick up another one. There you go, 2 compound. Click the button, and it now starts to 3D print printer. Not seeing it. That's odd. It should normally have. Oh no, it's there. It's actually printing it onto the platform directly. Didn't see that. Brilliant. Okay, so let's unpack that. Place it on the platform. Beautiful. Another job done. Let's just rotate that around. I want it to be printing like that. Great. It's going to print over that side. Fantastic. Okay, well that was relatively straightforward. Got medium printer now. So let's check out our rewards. We get a large platform B, and we get the schematic for large platform B as well. So you can see the difference already between the small and the large, medium and the large platforms here. There, quite some difference. Let's get that unpacked. Now, what's nice about large platform B, because you've got large platform A, large platform B costs slightly more, but you've got these little side tables which can hold, well, things. It's extremely useful. So I'd always go for platform B where I can. Of course, your preference and your mileage may vary. Alright, so that's that done. What are we doing next? So look, retooling, soil centrifuge. Okay, so we need to unlock print and attach boost mod and the drill mod. Okay, a smelting furnace is probably going to be useful up front though. Print to connect the small generator to the power network. Okay, I don't have a small generator, so I'll probably need to make one. So what I'll do is I'll go to my backpack, find a small generator, and it's made from compound. Okay, collected some compound earlier, that's easy enough, let's do that. Okay, small generator, click the button. So it's just some start-off stuff, and we will start exploring very soon. Alright, small generator, there it is. So we're going to connect the small generator to the shelter. There we go, that's easy, wasn't it? Now the small generator uses organic, or soil, well sorry, not soil, I keep saying soil, organic in order to run. It doesn't produce a lot of power, but it's very easy to get organic. We just do that. Collect up some plants, we can see. Just get some fuel here. There we go, excellent. So I'll plug that in, and then you can see that running. Don't really need the power desperately now, but there you go. Then you can turn it off if you don't need the power, just to save it and use it in the event of running short of power when you have lots of things connected. So, alright, that's that one. That was pretty straightforward. Let's move on. Powerful problem. So we get a reward of a small battery and also the schematic as well. Fantastic. Alright. Oops. Alright, so the battery looks like it's also freestanding. So I think if we... I like to try and set up a fairly neat base if possible. What I like to do is try and order this. So I've got all my printers on one side, and I've got maybe the power generator items on another side. So let's put that there. Turn it around ever so slightly. Oh, that's the printer, isn't it? Sorry, I thought that was the... hang on a sec. So we've got the printers. Okay, we'll have the printers over here. Just they're next to each other. When I get a large print, I'll also be putting that. It's got a side plug? No side plugs. Okay, so that's stretch. Yeah, okay. Alright, so they're going to go there. So the generator I had plugged in here. I actually want to plug it in over here. And I'll put the battery next to that. So they are distinctly separate. Don't want to do that at all. Where's my generator gone? Oh, it's on here. Am I being blind? Generator has... Oh, it's got the... of course, I thought that was the green item. Gosh, soil, not soil. I completely forgotten of it. Never mind, this green blob. Right. Okay, so it's plugged the battery coming off the back of the generator, which kind of makes sense. Alright, so this is going to be filling up from the power that's being generated by our shelter, and it will fill up quicker if I turn the generator on. Marginally quicker, it doesn't produce a lot of power, but yeah. Alright, so that's good. Alright, that's that done. And let's get to this. Alright, so mission reward. I've got nothing that I need to collect yet. Battery backup. Fully charge a battery. Right, okay, so that's still going on now. There we go, done. So let's collect that reward. We get a splitter and research. It's just the schematics, nothing actually new. Okay, what else have we got then? So we have research chamber. Lithium is going to be another while yet. I can't get lithium from this planet. So let's do a smelter. Is probably a good idea. Is there anything else here I probably need? Not really. A beacon could be quite useful. I need to print and research chamber. Okay. So the research chamber is going to be, I think, a medium printer job. Research chamber, there we go. So I need a compound. It's actually unlocked already. I need 2 compound and 1 resin. Alright. So I've got resin on my back. I need 2 compounds. I've got 1 compound. I'm just going to grab some more. which I think was down here. There we go. Isn't it great when it's all nearby? It's not always that easy. I said 2 compound, didn't I? 2 compressor. Alright, excellent. Put that away. I can't wait to get our buggy printed. It does make moving around so much easier. Gosh. Right. Medium printer. Research chamber. Yep, there you go. Right, print that off. It's not connected to a plug. That's why. Alright, not a problem. So what we'll do is we'll connect that up to the small printer. So, I think it doesn't hurt to basically get ahead of ourselves. Just plug these in. Alright. Okay, so that's printing kind of slowly. We do need power. So I'm thinking let's turn that on. That should help speed that up a little bit. Yeah, because it's drawing power from the battery, so that helps. We'll get into the power generation business very shortly. So smelter's going to be super useful. We're going to smelt some aluminium, I think it asked us to do. Now, aluminium is good for building a tractor. So we can get around with the tractor, so we can get around with that. So print and use research chamber. I wasn't making a smelter on that. Refine aluminium from laterite. Okay, so laterite is found down in a cave, so we're going to have to go underground. There are pre-made caves around the place. I can just dig down and get it myself, so it's not a big deal. But what I want to do is print some tethers first. I'm just going to have to dig down myself. Alright, that's fine. Get some research points for that. Alright. So I got quite a lot of tethers on me right now. Research chamber, brilliant. So we're going to put that onto. Do you know, I thought it was a smelter. Never mind, research chamber is pretty good. So what can you do with the research chamber? You actually get some points by researching these big lumpy items, of which I think I see one over there. So you grab these things up and you can put them in the research chamber and you start to research them. And you get, like, at this level, probably about 400 or so points to help you with unlocking things. I'm just watching my oxygen levels. Running with it's quite slow. Down to, I think I'm alright. Now, the trouble is, his mouse goes off the screen sometimes as I'm trying to move the display around, so that makes things a little bit more clumsy. Okay, I've got plenty of oxygen there, so that's fine. I need to stretch some tethers out here. Right. So we put it in there, and it will start to research, but I don't think I've got enough power. It does take a lot of power. Oh no, I have. I just need to press the button. Okay, so this tells me it's going to give me 450 bytes. My research will take me 11 minutes at the current power level. So, sorry, 11 minutes normally, and 5 minutes with the current power level. Okay, that's good. So that's 5 minutes real time. So that's excellent, and we can see that we've got 1548, 1550. So it gives us the bytes as it goes through them rather than a whole lump at the end. So that's quite helpful. All right, what have we got here? For science. Okay, print and use the research chamber. So it gives us 2 beacons and some bytes. Right. So the beacons are super useful. You can put these down and you can change the colour of the thing that they're marking. So you can go through them. You literally just put them on the ground and then you can find your way back to something that was interesting or maybe you couldn't pick up straight away. So I'll stick them on my backpack. They'll come in useful. Alright. Okay, so the research is going on and I'm thinking it's time for the smelter. Unlock and print a smelting furnace and go get some laterite. So laterite's beneath the ground. Let's go and do that now. We've got tethers. I'm thinking we can probably dig our way down. And let's see what we can find. Maybe this was I think this was a pre-made tunnel, my bad. Alright. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start laying some tethers. Let's just get back out and lay some tethers over here. So we can do this successfully. Okay, so I'm going to try and make a nice, easy kind of gradient to come down here, so I'm not mucking about. Okay, and that looks like it's much more smooth. Alright, cool. Alright, so another tether needs to go down. Okay, that didn't join, so let's move it up. There we go. Down again. Right, so we're going to look for something called laterites, which is what the mission's asked us to do. It's kind of a glowing, bluey red kind of item that only grows underground. Alright. And I love the way that the sound kind of gets muted into a kind of a roar, which is really quite cool. Okay. Now, these things offer you up generally a load of research points if you can unlock them, and you unlock them by providing power to it. So right now we can't do that, but it does become easier as the game goes on. Alright, so I see some resin there. That's not much use. That didn't connect. Let's go back and do that. Wasn't paying attention. There we go. Didn't connect either. I was looking at that thing ahead of me, not paying attention again. Alright. So these things, anything with kind of red dots on like this means they're hostile. Now these ones are not that hostile, and you can just avoid them, and they're not that big a deal. What you can do is you can actually dig them out and blow them up, and you get some research points for doing that. Just looking around. That'd be the wrong button I pressed. I'm just looking around and trying to see if I can see any of the laterite that I'm after. Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's keep the tethers going. And you'll see what I mean about the tethers showing you your way back as well, because you can get really turned around down here. Get rid of that away. And you can click on that, and you can actually grow it above ground if you want to. I've not found a need for it as to why you'd do that. Anyway. Alright. So there's another research block that we could use, but it's a bit of a long way for me to carry at the moment, and I don't really want to do that just yet. So I can't see any laterite in the distance. Oh, there's some stuff up ahead. That looks very interesting. Okay. Wow, that's huge. Jeez, a lot of stuff on there. Oh, there's some interesting stuff down there as well. Okay, plenty of things to look at. Oh, that's a huge cache. Now, a lot of this stuff will be rubbish and you can't actually do anything with it. But sometimes you get some good things off. So sphalerite, which is zinc. Yeah, we'll take that. So that's debris. Oh, there we go. Laterite. Perfect. That's exactly what we're after. It normally comes out the ground, but is that a battery? Take that. Oh, so that's rubbish. Okay, let me just get that out of the way first. There we go. That's an old smelter by the looks of it. Debris. Oh, medium. Oh, that platform actually works. Okay, let's dig that out. That could be super useful. And also, what's this? Oxygen filters. Yeah, we'll take that. Got 2 platforms here. That's astonishing. Not seen that before. So we can carry those back with us and just get rid of that. Platforms are nice. Take those. Let's just work our way along a little bit. I'll take that for research. Let's see if we can find more laterite. It looks like we can't. We only need 1 laterite for the mission to complete that successfully, so I'm kind of good with that for now. We found that on the platform. Now I've got quite a few tethers left. 3, 6, 9. I've got 10 or 11 tethers left. Let's keep going. It's good to explore, and we can always come back to this as it's very close to our base. So I'm not seeing any laterite deposits down here. Shame. Let me just investigate over there quickly. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, compound. Ah, there we go. That's laterite. That's exactly what I'm looking for. That's perfect. So we can come back down here. Oh, I've run out of tethers. Okay, that's all right. But so I know where to go now because the tethers will just point us back to the laterite which we need. So that works out really well. Alright. So let's head back. We're going to pick up one of these platforms because these platforms are, although they're not that difficult to build, it's one less resource that you've got to, or resource you've got to gather to go and get them. So let's wow, that's slow. This is part of the problem with Astroneer, is that travel is not easy when you're carrying something, so you want to try and avoid a situation like this where you're lugging kit like this a long way, but I think in the early game it's probably worth it. See, there's the way up. Lovely. Now, one of the options you can have later on is that you can actually you can attach something to this and repackage it, and that basically makes it really small. You can pop it on your backpack, but for now we don't have that technology. That's okay. Okay, so we've got a bit of a hill to climb there. Let me just move that to one side. And what we'll do is we'll make this into a ramp. Just like that. Nice and easy. Stick that there. And back up to the surface. That was a pretty good run. So we found a lot of laterite down the bottom there. Now laterite gets used quite a lot in the sort of early game. Let's do that. Yeah, it gets used quite a lot in this. That's still not right. Let me just stand back a little bit. So finding a big chunk of it down there is actually super useful. Oh, okay, let's do that. Back up into the daylight. Lovely. And go around. Alright, that was excellent. Good trip. Right, platform B. Beautiful. It's a nice size, so we are going to stick that just behind there, I think, for now. And when we make our smelter, I think the smelter will fit on this. I don't think it needs a large one, but who knows. Alright, well, that's still running through, and I think for a first episode, I think this is good. We'll leave it there. Now, as I said, if you want to see more of this, please do leave a like. As I said, I don't normally go cast around for likes, and this is not for any kind of e-peen kind of thing. I'm just interested to see whether you, as a viewer on my channel, would like to see more of this. There's a whole lot more. We've barely scratched the surface, and once we get a buggy, we can really go to town with going longer distances and tractors and being back loads of stuff. So, if you enjoyed this, let me know. Any comments are always welcome. If you'd like to see more, please do let me know as well. And hopefully, I'll be back for an episode 2. In the meantime, you take care of yourself. This is Buck, pulling the plug.